Hello, I'm Fred Nelson from Craven Tenor Guitars. You got me on my day off. I just came back from my favorite farmer's market. I love going to the farmer's market because you have people selling their wares, an incredible sense of community where everybody comes together. Even farmers that are selling exactly the same produce, they come together and they have a great time. There's artisans, there's just people. It's almost like the hippie days all over again, but everybody's together, they're having a really good time. And I think generally, especially now after the end of the pandemic, we're all starting to realize how much we missed community, and how I know myself, I'm pretty grateful to be able to be back in community again. When I was there today, I couldn't help but think about our tenor community. It's so incredibly diverse. It's also incredibly small, but it's worldwide. And the thing that fascinates me is, we have people of all different nationalities, all different backgrounds, who've fallen in love with this simple four-stringed instrument that, they take an inanimate object and make it sing. And it's just incredible. Another thing that I appreciate so much about the community is how supportive players are amongst themselves. I never hear anybody putting down somebody else for not playing well, or really nitpicking that much. And you don't find that in most communities. So there's something very incredible and very special about that. And maybe it's the instrument itself that does that. I really don't know. But I also took time to think about the manufacturers in the industry as well, which obviously Craven Tenor Guitars is one of them. It's a diverse market, and first of all, I started thinking about the flat top market. Those tenor manufacturers, some produce super cheap, some produce expensive, some produce middle of the line, different strings, different sizes, all that. It's very, very diversified. And yet they all seem to come together homogeneously and work together. You don't hear them picking people apart. You don't hear them attacking their fellow manufacturers. They all work together. They all have a common goal, and that is to strive in the industry. So they let their products stand for what they are without tearing apart their competition, or even for that matter, perceiving others as competition. They see themselves as unique characters in the industry. We've got the pomegranate. I kind of think of this as being our artistic luthiers, those people who blood, sweat, and toil to create artistic and beautiful instruments, legacy instruments that will be cherished for many, many years to come. They're very expensive, and they're worth every single penny that's put into it, because it's the blood and the sweat and the passion of that artist that goes into each and every one of those guitars. Then we've got Craven Tenor Guitars. We're kind of an apple, if you will. We're dedicated to building vintage style guitars that were produced up until 1965, basically. And they were manufactured by companies like Gibson, Cromwell, Silvertone, Harmony, Kay. They all had something characteristic in nature, and that was their shape, being archback, front and back. Their style, their wood components, their prices all varied based on what they were trying to achieve in the marketplace. Back in those days, back in Chicago, if Kay had a big order, they'd call up Gibson and say, "Look, can you make us a cheap version? We've got a huge order we've got to fill. Can you help us out?" And they did that. There was that sense of community again. That was so incredible. So, you know, here we are, Craven. Then there's, and by the way, our guitars are strictly full size. We don't do parlor size, we don't do anything small. We stick to the original size that the original tenor guitars came out as, which are approximately 16-inch lower bouts. So they're nice full-size guitars. We don't plan on doing anything else. Now, there's a manufacturer out east that produces what I'll call a parlor-size guitar. Now, the guitar is a beautiful guitar. Limited quantities. As I understand, the gentleman follows the Martin style guitar, which was pretty unique. I don't think any other manufacturer followed or tried to copy the Martin. It's a small size guitar. It's definitely parlor size. I think it's about a 13-inch lower bout, so it's very small. That manufacturer creates a beautiful guitar. And I hope people that are looking for that size guitar, I really encourage you to check his product out. If you're looking for a full-size tenor guitar of quality nature that was built to become an heirloom guitar, I hope you'll stick to trying out an Apple. No. And at the same time, when we talk about coming together as a community, I would really appreciate that the citrus wouldn't try to degrade the apple for what it is and try to say that you know, that apple isn't being a citrus, because the apple is not trying to be a citrus. We are what we are, and that is a full-size, premium quality, very affordable, premium, full-size tenor guitar. So can we all start coming together and remembering the idea of being in the same community, supporting each other, and coming together rather than trying to tear each other apart? Because if you try to tear each other apart, you end up showing yourself to be pretty darn sour. Thanks very much.